ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We'll chant.
यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे। गतवति वायौ देहापाये हार्याभिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये। बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः। वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः। काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः। कस्य त्वं कः कुत आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः। सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वम् निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः। वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः। क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः।
The question on giving. If giving to a drug addict and Earl of Chesterfield is wrong dhanam, and simply give like rose gives fragrance is extreme dhanam, then what is right dhanam? Question. If giving to a drug addict and the Earl of Chesterfield is wrong dhanam, and simply give like rose gives fragrance is extreme dhanam, then what is right dhanam? What is the right dhanam? It's nice to hear like rose gives fragrance. Actually, does it? Actually, it's not. It's nice to hear and it is nice to give as a discourse to somebody. But realistically speaking, that is one extreme. That is too difficult. Meaning extreme selflessness is required to be like a rose. Extreme selflessness is required to be like a rose. Extreme selfishness is Earl of Chesterfield, etc. Are you able to follow? So what is the right dhanam? The right dhanam is what he calls as, what Swamiji always calls as, give with a pinch. Give with a pinch. That pinch is the dhanam. Are you able to follow? Give with the pinch means what? Supposing if you can comfortably give 100 rupees, give 120. The 20 is the pinch. If you can comfortably give 1000 rupees, give 1200. The 200 is the pinch. So what is right dhanam? Right dhanam is that where you have a pinch. Are you able to follow? Here we are equating dhanam to materialistic giving. I am restricting it dhanam only to materialistic thing. Don't equate it to emotion giving, knowledge giving, and all that. Don't take it to that anything and everything. Don't take it to that extreme. Here I'm talking about dhanam as in pure. I'm restricting the discussion of dhanam in this question, in this context, only to pure materialistic wealth. Why start with that first? Why start? Why start with this first? Everybody gives. It's not that people don't give at all. Everybody gives. The difficulty in giving is, what is the difficulty there? The difficulty is the giving will happen so much within their safety network, so much within their security zone that they will not want to stretch. Everybody gives. It's not that people don't give at all. It is wrong to say people don't give. Invariably, what happens? They don't stretch. If they can give 100, they will restrict it to 60 because that 40 is saved for their rainy days, isn't it? No, that 40 is saved for their rainy days. Why? Because, sir, we have to earn and we have to save for our future, no? Are you able to follow? So what is dhanam here? Right dhanam. Give with the pinch. Whatever you are comfortable with, add something more to it. Give something extra. That extra is what is right dhanam. Just as exercising. If you can comfortably lift 20 kilos, lifting 22 is the exercise. If you can comfortably lift 20 and you are lifting only 18, even your existing strength reduces. They will follow. So right dhanam is you give with a pinch. That is one. Second aspect of right dhanam, which is also taught to us all the time, is don't bargain. If you are not bargaining, that itself is a level of dhanam only. Even if you are not bargaining, that itself is a level of. Have you ever observed where you can bargain, where you cannot bargain? Have you ever observed that? Where you can bargain? With the local vegetable vendor only you can bargain. Can you go to the what is it? Lulu, correct? Can you go to Lulu and bargain? You can't bargain. Can you go to some stores here and you cannot bargain? So where you will bargain in insignificant areas. So refuse to bargain. You follow what I'm saying? Refuse to bargain. That itself is dana. That itself is a form of dana. You follow what I'm saying? The person will buy a car for 20 lakhs and bargain for footmat which is 2,000 rupees. And that fellow also says, I have given the footmat for free, this I have given for free, this I have given for free, and you calculate all that is given for free, which will not even cost you 15,000 rupees, but that 15,000 rupees gives you the satisfaction which the 20 lakhs car doesn't give. You able to understand the difference? What he gave. So he will say, I will give you this music system for free. I will give you this for free. I'll give you this for free. You understand? Nothing comes for free. Nothing comes for free. But the very temptation for wanting things for free is the opposite of dhanam. So what is right dhanam? Refusing to take things for free, not bargaining, giving it with extra pinch. These are all the ways in which you can practice right dhanam. Are you able to follow? These are all the practical ways in which you can practice. These are all the ways in which you can practice dhanam. You follow what I'm saying? Obviously, the auto driver is asking 50 rupees more. You know that. With that fellow, you bargain? Can't understand. Nobody can understand. So with the auto fellow, 50 rupees. That's all he's asking for. He is not asking for your car. He is not asking for your property. 50 rupees extra. And that bargaining with him and not giving that 50 makes you feel as though you have conquered something. Correct? You feel as though you have something you have achieved, something you have conquered. 50 rupees extra he is asking. He's not asking for 500 rupees. He's not asking for 500 rupees extra, 50 rupees extra. Give. What will happen? Nothing will. That's why I always observe where all you can bargain is the fellows who are so helpless. How cheap it is to go and borrow with a fellow who is so helpless. Follow what I'm saying? These are all practicing right. These are all practicing right dhanam. You follow what I'm saying? Next clarification. Button. Second one. You say insecurity is no conviction in the divine. Security is conviction in the divine, and conviction in the divine will take care of the insecurity. Conviction is if pleasant thing is happening to me, it's prasad. If unpleasant thing is happening to me, that is also prasad. Correct. Question. So, till I develop this conviction, how to handle dependency and insecurity in the interim period when doing dharma. Are you able to follow? Till I develop this conviction, how to handle dependency and insecurity in the interim period when doing dhanam. By giving dhanam only. By giving dhanam only, you can handle the insecurity. How does it work? You give, you give, you give. The very giving itself gives you a tremendous source of strength. The willingness to give. That willingness to, just the willingness to give. You walk out, isn't it? Venkat is our banker. Every few months I'll ask him, I want to change. I want to change. And every time I ask for change, he will ask me, sir, endu sir tour porellingo, he will ask me. Every time I ask for change, he will say, I ask him, give me 100 rupees. Give me 100, because it's very difficult to get those 100 rupees. So I asked him, give me 100 rupees bundle. So he comes and gives me. First time he asked me, why so much of change? I said, see, you go there, you just want to give 100 rupees, give 100 rupees here, give 100 rupees here. All that you come back and count, you would not have even given 5,000 rupees. But that 100 to that person is so. But that 100 to that person is so meaningful. And who's that fellow? Somebody on the road standing the whole day whistling, isn't it? Sun and rain and snow and everything. That man is standing on the road whistling, helping you to park the car, reverse the car. 100 rupees you can't give to that fellow. They will change for 10 rupee note, isn't it? will change. Are you able to follow? Where do you get that security from? You are ready to give. So keep. So how do you handle that insecurity? Only by giving. By giving and giving and giving, the strength that you experience reinforces the conviction. Are you able to follow? So in the interium, how do you do that? By doing right dhanam alone, you develop the conviction. This is answering the second clarification. How do you develop conviction in the divine? Give. Give. And when you give, thank God. When you give, thank God and give. What does thanking God means? You are in a better position today that you are able to give. Life in a split second can reverse the position. Life in a split second can reverse it. If only you can understand that, you will not have any problem. In a split second, irreversibly it will change. Are you able to follow? At that point of time, what is going to save you? What is going to protect you? Is a 50 rupees bargaining here, is it going to save you? Is 100 rupees bargaining there is going to save you? This is Swamiji gives an example, no? You will bargain 5 rupees here, 10 rupees here, 5 rupees here, 10 rupees here, and you keep one surgery, 25 lakhs gone, wiped off completely. One surgery, 25 lakhs gone. Opposite of that is the inner strength. Are you able to follow? So it is the right dhanam that gives you the very, conviction. Are you able to understand the clarification to the second question? How do you do it? By doing right dhanam. By doing right dhanam. Blessed you are if you can go bankrupt by giving. Don't try that. Don't try that. Yeah. Don't try that. You can't. Abhyada Achina Srikanth. Yeah. You sir, that's why I'm saying it's a wonderful state to be in, where you just give one. Are you able to follow? So by doing the right dhanam alone, the insecurity will go. Material giving is a very good starting point. Material giving is a very good starting point. But the Kutarka Buddhi will argue and say, sir, in the Bhagavad Gita we have studied Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, Swadhyaya Yajna, and Swadhyaya Yajna is the highest, Therefore, I will give Swadhyaya Yajna to everybody. Material things I will keep it to myself. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, Sunil. He says, Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, Swadhyaya Yajna. Of all the Yajna, and then he says Swadhyaya is the best. Not 7th chapter, 4th chapter. Sorry, 4th chapter. He says that. Then you will argue and say, sir, anyway, it is the highest to know. I'll give that. Always Krishna will say, wait. In order to give, you should have it first. In order to give, you should have. How can you give that which you don't have? You can't give. So even if you are thinking you are giving knowledge, you only give ignorance to others. Why? Because that's what you have is what you can give. No, how can you give that which you don't have? If you have ignorance in abundance, what will you give? Ignorance only. Therefore, right Dhanam says, start with Dravya Yajna, material, start with material. Then you will know the dependency on that. Then you will know the dependency on that. Then only you will outgrow. Are you able to follow? Clarification, Raga? Third, the quantity is always the quantity is always decided based on what you have. Like the poem, the mountain and the squirrel, the skill, intelligence, earning capacity, etc., differs from person to person. In the circle of primary obligation or secondary obligation, if the recipient feels lacking, not enough with any kind of dhanam, what should one do? What should be the giver's mental state when he or she gets to know this thought in the receiver's mind? The question that she is asking is, when I am giving, what will be the receiver's mind? From the angle of the receiver, it will always be not enough. Understand this. There are two things. One is the giver's mind, another is the receiver's mind. Are you able to follow? Now, from the receiver's mind, it will always look like what? It will always appear like how much ever you give, that's not enough. Are you able to follow? When is enough? Therefore, you can only give according to your conviction and your understanding. But if you go into the receiver's mind, is it enough? No, that will not be. Don't take the truth at all. Don't take the truth. If you take the truth, you will be utterly confused because enough is never enough. You follow what I'm saying? So that route of thinking should be avoided completely. Never go into the receivers. Never go into the receivers. Mind thinking whether it is enough or not. Do they feel satisfied? Don't worry about whether they are going to feel satisfied because they are never going to be satisfied. Always remember this. Why? The natural tendency of a human being is comfort loving. Everybody wants to have their comforts all the time. All the time they are only preoccupied. All the time they are only worried, concerned about their comfort. My comfort, my comfort, my comfort. Anything other than my comfort, I am not interested. If the wife and children interferes with my comfort, get rid of the what? Get rid of what? Wife and children. Because my comfort is of utmost importance. As long as they don't interfere with your comfort, you will be loving, you will be very loving, you will be very affectionate as long as they don't interfere with your comfort. Are you able to follow? Why? Because the weakness of a human being is comfort loving. We all want to restrict, we want to keep our comforts and we constantly look for others who, and we constantly look for what? Who gives us this comfort. We constantly crave for those who give us this comfort. And how much ever you give, the other person is going to turn back and say, how much ever you give, the other person is going to turn back and say, it's not enough. Are you able to follow? The comfort loving will be from one and many. It will not restrict to one. You will want it from many. Therefore, if you take the receiver's mind, you can never do dana. So therefore, don't take that route. Give from your conviction and make it the right dana. Are will follow? Based on your conviction. Don't worry about being absolutely right and all. Do. Don't worry about being absolutely right. All these questions is coming from what? One common understanding, one common notion. What is that notion? I should do it absolutely right. I should do it perfectly right. No mistake should happen. Are you able to follow? That is not possible. For there is no such thing as absolutely right. All that you can do is simply, all that you can do simply do. Are you okay? Ah, you say, having given, just give. Don't turn back and move on to next giving, be it primary or secondary. Question. Is shifting attention to higher for self-development by ending the obligation another kind of giving in this order? Because this knowledge will give conviction to pursue in this direction. Again, the clarification. You say, having given, just give. Don't turn back and move on to next giving, be it primary or secondary. Now the question. Is shifting attention to higher for self-development by ending the obligation another kind of giving in this order? Because this knowledge will give conviction to pursue in this direction. What she is asking is, instead of giving, can I focus attention on self-development? If I shift the attention to self-development, would that itself be classified as giving? Can you understand your question rightly? The question that she is asking is, if I instead of worrying about all this, if I turn my conviction to self-development, would that itself be considered as the right giving? The answer is yes. Of the ways to do self-development, right dhanam is one. Of the various ways for self-development, chitta shuddhi, right dhanam is one. All this is done for what? For chitta shuddhi. Therefore, shifting the attention to chitta shuddhi itself is the highest giving. Why do we say it is the highest giving? If you are not having chitta shuddhi, what do you have in abundance? The disease and the symptom of the disease. Again, I repeat, if you don't have chitta shuddhi, what will you have in abundance? The disease and the symptoms of disease. What is the disease? Ignorance is the disease. What are the symptoms of the disease? Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, Bhaya, Dvesha. These are all the symptoms of the disease. Now, what will you end up doing? You will end up giving this only. Therefore, in order to avoid this giving, have developed Chitta Shuddhi. You will follow? Therefore, is Chitta Shuddhi the highest form of giving? Yes, because you are ensuring that you don't want to give. You are ensuring that you don't want to give the wrong things and want to give only the right thing. Ramatirtha says that no. Only one thing that you should give is cheer and joy. When you walk out with cheer and joy. Whenever you are sad, depressed, melancholy, what should you do? Room out vella varadingo, he says. Lock yourself up in the room and die inside the room, but don't come out and spread the disease of melancholy. I'm not saying this. Ramatirtha says that. You follow? Highest giving is you come out and give cheer and joy. For you to give cheer and joy, you should have it. And when will you have it? Only when you have Chitta Shuddhi. And for Chitta Shuddhi, right dhanam is one method. That's how it goes sequentially. Are you okay? Verse number 6.
यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये
As long as breath lasts in the body, so long would there be inquiry of welfare at home. Once breath leaves and body decays, the wife fears the same body. As long as breath lasts in the body, so long would there be inquiry of welfare at home. Once breath leaves and body decays, the wife fears the same body. First thing, wife is symbolic of that which is attached to you. Wife means not gender. Wife means here, wife means don't understand it as gender woman. It's the same for man and the rule is the same for man and woman. Now, wife means what? Wife means that which is possessive of you, that which loves you, that which is possessive of you, yavat tavat. Yavat means as long as, so long as. Yata tata. Like in Bhagavad Gita, he uses the yata and tata. He is using yavat and tavat, meaning conditional. As long as it is there, it will be like this. Like in modern days, the conditions apply, isn't it? They will advertise for a motorcycle, 85 kilometers per hour, isn't it? 85 kilometers per hour. No vehicle, I don't know which vehicle can give 85 kilometers per hour. And it won't give you, and it won't even give you 40. You go and ask that fellow will say, sir, at standard conditions, it will give 85. What is standard condition? Uphill, only downhill, isn't it? Only downhill, no resistance, no this, no that, braking isn't it? If under standard conditions, you'll have, where is the on the road, where is the standard condition? That is not his problem. Yavat tavat, as long as, so long as. So everything in life is conditional. Everything in life is conditional. Remember that, he said. We're able to follow. So what is why fears the bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye? Bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye means the wife will not say take my husband away. The wife will say take the body away. Take the body away, isn't it? Try and keep the body one day for a few hours, they'll be crying, isn't it? You don't take the body out of the freezer box, isn't it? There are freezer boxes now. You can keep for weeks and months and years as long as power cut doesn't happen, isn't it? You keep it. Second day, what will happen? Third day, what will happen? Some point of time, you feel like they say it's cutting. Are you able to follow? Yavat and tavat. Hammering is going on. Hammering to shape the iron piece. Hammering is going on. When we gave the introduction to Bhaja Govindam, what did we say? Moha Mudgara, we said. And what does this Moha Mudgara means? Correct. Narayana, correct. He's hammering it. It's hammering it. Hammering it till you come into a proper shape. இல்லையா? ஒரு ஷேப் வர வரைக்கும் till you get into the proper shape, he is not going to leave you. So what is the shaping that he is doing? As long as, so long as long as, so long as. What is it as long as? Arya, wife means the closest person, the closest person. The protected person. Arya means the closest one, and also it means the protected. So the closest one, the protected one itself, they themselves will get afraid, he said. Hmm? The one who embraced you with love and affection, the one who embraced the body with love and affection is the same person saying, take the body away. Ice box at least to a few hours are there. Imagine the situation where ice box and all is not there. What will happen? Imagine this. You know what they will do in a matter of 3 hours. In a matter of 3 hours, they will dispose. But sir, this person has to come. That person has to come. அதெல்லாம் வந்து பின்னாடி பார்த்துக்கிட்டோம். Dispose the body first. So when he says bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye, what does bharya refers to here? The closest person who embraced you, the one who was protected by you, someone who's under your care, someone who's under your protection, the one who you cared for, the one whom you want to protect, the one who embraced you closely. That person says, afraid of you. Why afraid of you? Because you are dead. Because you are dead. Understand, death means what? Death means what? What they have been getting from you is dead. Death means not the physical death. Death means not the physical death. What they have been getting from you is dead. The moment what they have been getting from you is dead, what will they tell you? In the modern day, yeah. In those days, they will wait for the fellow to die. எப்போதான் அந்த ஆள் போய் சேருவாரோ, they will say, isn't it? Nowadays what? Huh? Nowadays what? Sunil, get lost. You go your way, I go my way. அதுதான் பாரியா பிப்யதி தஸ்மின் காயே. இல்லையா? பாரியா பிப்யதி தஸ்மின் காயே. Remember this. Whenever divorce happens, bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. I tell this within myself. Why it happened? Why it happened? Death. Divorce is the death of the relationship. Can't stand that person now. Wanting to do anything to get rid of the person. Why? That person is not a terrorist, no. That person is not a Hitler or Idi Amin, no. Why? Yavat, tavat. Yavat and tavat. Yavat and tavat means as long as they are giving you what you, as long as you are giving what they like, what they want, you will be wanted. The moment you stop giving what they like, the moment you stop giving what they want, they will discard you. Are you able to follow? Ah, correct, sir. This is my experience in life. Don't say that. Narayana. What he's saying is, this is what you are doing. Remember this. Always remember this. Don't take the position of saying, correct, sir. I have been such a giver in my life. Everybody threw me out. Bhaja Govindam is correct. Don't say that. Because if you have been a true giver, people will prostrate to you. They will long for you. They will crave for you. You follow what I'm saying? They will crave, they will not throw. The fact that you are thrown out means what? Something they wanted was being given. Now that is not, now that is not given. That's what is meant by saying, Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kaye. Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kaye means take the closest person whom you can never ever think can tell you get lost, will tell you get lost. Are you able to follow? What is this verse saying? The closest person whom you believe is you have done so much to that person, even when everybody will discard you, throw you out, this person will be there for you, and that person turns back and says, get lost. Why? Yavat, tavat. Yavat and tavat. Since you live life like this, the world like a faithful mirror gives you back the same thing. If you live a life of service and sacrifice, you will never get to experience any of this. If you are experiencing any of this, it means you are doing this to the world. Are you able to follow? So yavat tavat is not criticizing or complaining about, is not about criticizing or complaining about somebody else as though everybody around you is selfish and self-centered and you are a victim of the selfishness of others. You can, most of the time scriptures are misunderstood like that. When you keep hearing they say they will do it, they will do it, they will do it, you will take it as though you are a victim of the selfishness of others. You will go back so convinced. That is the utter misunderstanding of Vedanta. He is saying you are the one who is doing all this. You are the one who is, you do this. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Because everybody and everything becomes like a disposable cup. Anything and everybody becomes like a disposable cup. Before the tea, it is a cup. After the tea, kuppadan. Isn't it? After the tea, it is kuppa in English la. Garbage, yeah? Garbage. Before the tea, it is cup. After the tea, it is garbage. Why? Because the utility is over. Why? Because the utility is over. Another method, another message in this verse is the extraordinary body consciousness. That extraordinary body value that you, the body consciousness, the value that, the exaggerated value that you give it to the body. That's another message. Are you able to understand the first one? Now I'm moving on to the second. The second is the extraordinary value that you give it to your body. the few microns. That's all, isn't it? The few microns covering it makes you, the few microns covering it. The skin is measured by microns, no? Millimeter, and then micromillimeter, and then it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and somewhere it is called a micron. A few microns is what your skin, and that few microns makes you so diluted. So diluted. That's why we give the opposite, Pratipaksha Bhavana. See it from another angle. Remove the microns and see inside. If only you can remove the microns and see inside, what will you see inside? What will you see? Skull. Yeah, bone than skull than there, isn't it? Microns remove பண்ணவனா X-ray film எடுத்து பார்த்தாலே போறோம், isn't it? Take an X-ray film or take a CT scan film. That's what is inside. What is it that you are giving so much of value for? And the whole life is centered around, the body. You are so preoccupied with the body that you don't have time for anything else. That's what he is trying to tell us. Able to follow? You are so preoccupied with what? So preoccupied with that, you never have any time for which that you have to be actually occupied with. What you should be occupied with? You should be occupied with the thoughts of the reality. What is the truth of life? What is the fact of life? What is the dharma of life? Is what you should be occupied with. If you are not occupied with that, you are preoccupied elsewhere. You follow? You are preoccupied elsewhere. Where are you preoccupied? What is your preoccupation? If you watch this life carefully, if you watch this life carefully, if you watch this life fully, you will not want to be born again. Isn't it? Everybody says that. You will not want to be born again. But you will be born. Right? What to do now? You will not want to get married again, but you will get married again. Why? Why do you do that? Why you don't want it? Because you understand the misery in it. Even though you understand the misery in it, you will still, even though you understand the misery in it, you will still want it. Why? That's why it's called moha. Because of moha delusion. You understand that it's going to, you understand that you should remember the divine. You understand that you should remember the divine all the time. What an effort to remember it for a few moments in a day, isn't it? What an effort it is. What an effort it is to remember. And even if you tell the person to remember, they will bargain now. How many times should I remember, sir? 3 times in a day, is it okay? 5 times in a day, it's okay. How many times should I chant the Lord's name? 3 is enough, no, sir? Sahasranama, you should say, no, sir, no time for that. So I will give Sahasranama illana Ashtotra. Ashtotra means 100. Isn't it? Oh, 100? Oh, 100 is also too much, sir. 1 is enough, no? Because anyway, God is there all the time. Anyway, this, anyway, that. You cannot take the mind from its, you cannot take the mind from its preoccupation. Those who have seen life in the right perspective, they have only one vision in life. They have only one mission in life. They have only one purpose. What? How to get out of this cycle. What is the cycle? What is the cycle? The cycle of perpetually creating misery for yourself. That's the cycle. How a human being is so wise in doing that, they do that. இதுக்கு மட்டும் education வேணும், isn't it? For everything else you need education, but here you don't need education at all, because perpetually you know how to keep creating misery for yourself. And how do you go on creating misery for yourself? The temptations of happiness. The temptations of happiness is what is the preparation for? What is the preparation for misery? How do you prepare yourself for misery? By getting tempted for happiness. But sir, what is wrong in wanting happiness, sir? What is wrong in wanting happiness, sir? That's what natural, no? Correct. But what you call as happiness and what you do for happiness is ending up in misery. Remember that in the fall of human intellect, we study that you know not what you want, you know not you want. You don't want to remain empty-handed, but you always remain empty-handed. Again, you don't want to remain empty-handed. You always want your hands full. But invariably, what happens? You end up being empty-handed. The best thing to you, the greatest good fortune that can happen to you, would have happened to you, is what? If you are not born. The greatest good fortune is if you are not born. Now that it has happened, now you have no choice. Now that it has happened, since you are already born, the next best thing is what? What is the next best thing? The bestest is not possible. What is the bestest? If at all there is a word called best, better, better. Huh? I don't know. How do you say that? Better, better, best. Huh? It doesn't matter. Bestest. All of them. The bestest thing is what? Not to have been born. That choice is not there. Rajini, what to do now? It has already happened. Already happened. அது ஒன்றும் செய்ய முடியாது. The next best thing can happen. What is the next best thing that can happen? What is the next best thing that can happen? Die. The next best thing that can happen is die. And what is death means? You don't know what is death is. What does death means? Die while you are alive. Don't die unconsciously. Don't die in ICU. You won't even know that you don't even know that you are dying. Die consciously. Die while you are alive. Adepdi sir, how can you do that? Huh? How can you do that? Life gives you so many opportunities. We do that. At least I do it. I used to do it so many times. I will sit in the crowded train and I will think, if I am not here, what will happen? What will happen? If I'm not here, what will happen? The train will still come on time. Everybody will rush into getting into the train. Everybody will rush out of getting into. Everything will continue as though your existence has no. Everything will continue as though your existence has no relevance at all to life. From this, you gain the reality. What is the reality? What is the reality? Courage வந்துரும் அதுக்கு. You must have the courage to accept the reality. You should have the inner strength to. What is the courage? What is the courage? The courage to drop the ego. The courage to drop the moha will come. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, you will be stuck in that. Otherwise, you will be stuck in that. Imagine as if you are not. Ranjini is sitting here, so I can't say this, but I do it sitting in the house also, I will do. In my head, I will do. I will be just think, okay, imagine I'm not in this chair now. What will happen? When you are alive, you think you are the most important person in this planet, isn't it? You think you are the most important person, and everybody is looking at you, and everybody is only talking about. Everybody is looking at you. Everybody is talking about you. At least one person should think about me constantly, no, sir. And if somebody says, I'm thinking about you constantly, you are the pineapple of my eye. You are the papaya of my eye. Yeah. Apple of the eye சொல்லக்கூடாது இல்லையா? I always say you are the pineapple of the eye, you are the papaya of the eye, you are the சீதாஃபலுக்கு என்ன இங்கிலீஷ்ல? Jackfruit you can say. Custard apple, you are the custard apple of my eye, you are the jackfruit of my eye. ஏன்னா அப்படி உறுத்துது அது, isn't it? What is there? You will never leave crying. You will never leave worried. You will never be anxious. You will never you will never feel any of this. What? While you are alive, you should understand that. That's what he said. Yavat tavat. While you are alive, understand this. Don't think that he is saying the family is don't think that he is saying the family is bad, this is bad. He's not talking about others. What is the attempt that he is trying to make? How to bring the sense of detachment from the blind affection, from the blind infatuation to the world and objects of hollow enjoyments. It's so hollow, it's so shallow, but the mind is so hollow, it's shallow, but the mind so much craves for it. But sir, இந்த மாதிரி பேசினே இருந்தா, you could go on talking like this. The joy of life you take away, sir. Joy of life. What is a peppy? Pep feeling. You take away the pep of life, sir. The club lalam pona, they get that feeling, no? What do you get that? What is that feeling called? Who has gone to the club here? Don't say நாங்க போனதே இல்லைன்றலாம். Yeah. That feeling, that high. You take away all the high that we get out of life, and இதை விட pessimistic-ஆ? You can never paint a more pessimistic picture of life than the old values have to be shattered. The current values that you have about the world, the life has to be shattered. And the way to shatter that is give the Pratipaksha Bhavana. If you don't understand this, which is what most of the people, when they come in contact with Vedanta or textbooks like this or verses like this, they say, இந்த மாதிரி பேசி பேசி தான் சார், no incentive to life, no progress at all to life. This country didn't progress at all because we have been talking like இந்த மாதிரி பேசி பேசி தான் ப்ரோக்ரஸே இல்லைங்க. Look at the Western world. How much they progressed because they celebrate life. They enjoy life. Here we are making life look so pessimistic. To live in the body, to live for the body. The Puranas call it as Virochana cult. Virochana is a Rakshasa. Virochana is a Rakshasa. Even after gaining the Virochana is a Rakshasa, even after gaining the knowledge means hearing it any number of times, he still continued the body worship. And we are all descendants of Gotra Badi Sununa Narayana. Which Gotra you should say? Yeah. Virochana Gotra Solnu, isn't it? Don't say that, please. Say your original Gotra. And whenever you say your original Gotra, remember the Rishi. Yeah, that's the ideal. That's the Vedic ideal. The Vedic ideal is we all want to trace our lineage to whom? To what? To the Rishi. For the Rishihood is the ideal. Masculine na Rishi, female na Rishika. Doesn't matter. Both are one and the same. The inner attitude. Trace your lineage to that. Opposite of that is the Virochana cult. What is Virochana cult? Worshipping the body, living in the body, to gain the misery. How many throats have to be cut? On how many people you have to stand up? Isn't it? How many cruel wars have to be waged? All for what? The cruel wars. What they call as cut-throat, no? Cut-throat competition, sir. Cut-throat, isn't it? All this you do for what? To end up in misery. That's what he's saying. All that you do for what? To end up in misery. So, to think of the significant fact of life is to have a disregard. It is not a pessimistic way of life. It is a disregard to the wrong way of living. Develop the disregard to the wrong way of living. Is the Pratipaksha Bhavana. No doubt, the body has to be attended to. Apyayantu mamangani vakprana chakshu shrotramato balamindriyani cha sarvani aham brahma nirakuryam. எல்லாம் படிக்க போறோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன் ரிட்ரீட்ல. அது வரைக்கும் உயிரோட இருந்தா, isn't it? இல்லையா Sunil? That's why whether the retreat is going to happen or not, money is taken out first, no? Huh? Who knows whether his retreat alam would have to take it out first. Yeah. Make the fellow bankrupt first. Correct, Sunil? Huh? Apyayantu mamangani vakprana chakshushrotamato balamindriyani cha. The indriyas must have balam. The senses must be alert. The body must have strength. For what? So that you can lead a life of dharma. So that you can lead a life of dharma, not a life of happiness. Look at the vision. One person says we should live a happy life. That can be one goal of life. Sir, நம்ம எது பண்ணாலும் சந்தோஷமா இருக்கணும் இல்லையா? Whatever we do, we should feel happy, no? The vision of Vedanta is not happiness. The vision of Vedanta is not happiness. The vision of Vedanta is dharma. And that dharma gives you happiness. But human beings doesn't want dharma as the medium for happiness. They want the senses and the wealth and the infatuations and attachments as the medium for happiness. Are you able to understand the two mediums that you have for happiness? One medium for happiness is dharma. Another medium for happiness is materiality, sensuality, infatuations, attachments, etc. Can we have a balance of both, sir? Can we balance both? Middle path? The best of both? One introduction we gave in Bhaja Govindam again. Shreyaha and Preyaha. Shreyaha and Priyam. The path of Shreyas and the path of Priyam. The path of the pleasant and the path of the good. The path of the good and the path of the pleasant. Can't we balance both? Can we balance Amritam and Visham, sir? Can we balance Amritam and Visham? How many ever times you hear, you still think you can serve two masters at the same time? How many ever times you hear, you will still be convinced. You can't serve two masters at the same time. Either you serve God or you serve Satan. And you can't serve two masters at the same time. And the human being genuinely believes both can be served. Are you able to follow? Therefore, he is not painting a pessimistic picture. He is only saying the medium for happiness should not be materiality, sensuality, indulgences. The medium for happiness should be dharma. And dharma is unpleasant in the beginning and pleasurable in the end. That is the problem of dharma. Again, dharma is unpleasant in the beginning and turns out to be nectarine in the end. But the human mind wants pleasure instantly. It has to happen now. It has to happen now. Immediately it should happen. It should not delay by a second. It should not delay. It should happen now. What is the medium by which you will get that instant happiness? The medium which gives you instant happiness is your infatuations and your attachments. And you will be so preoccupied with that you will have no time to think about the divine at all. You will have no time to think about the divine, the preoccupations. Now, how to take away this preoccupation? Take care of it, maintain it, clothe it, wash it. While you are doing all this, what you should understand? What you should understand? It is exactly like my mother cleaning the knife before she starts cutting vegetables. The instrument has to be clean. That's all. Attention to the body is as much attention you pay to keep the instrument clean. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less, he says. Nothing more, nothing less. Instead of seeing it as an instrument, you see it as the source of happiness. Mhm. Follow. You start seeing it as the source of happiness. Vedanta comes and says, your body has no intrinsic value. Your body has value only because of the hidden enlivening factor in the body. Your body has no value. It has, or it is tremendously worshipful. It is so meaningful, it is tremendously worshipful. Why? Because of that which is enlivening it is the enlivener that brings meaning to the body, not the body per se. That which keeps the body alive, the conscious principle, the consciousness, Brahman, God, in it, all terms are synonymously used. That is that which gives intrinsic worth. So, the value or the worthiness doesn't come from body per se. That's why we have studied it already. Per se, what is body? It is Annamaya, caused by food, maintained by food, and goes back as food to something else. That's why you fast, your body starts shaking and shivering and all that, isn't it? Why? Because no food means it is inching closer to death. No food means it is inching closer to death. Just wait a few minutes, nothing will. That's right. They say a few minutes, nothing will happen. What is moha, body moha, sharira moha? Your education, your effort is to feed the body, protect the body, and preserve the body. All human education is towards what? The improvement of science and technology is angled towards what? Feed the body, protect the body, preserve the body. That's all it is, isn't it? Construction technology improvements for what? Safeguarding the body. Medical sciences advancement for what? Preserving the body. If you carefully look at it, each and everything is always centering around the body only. Why? Because we can't think anything beyond the body. Or we can't think anything beyond the body. You see through the window, you can see the snowfall. But you can sit with shorts and t-shirt inside. Why? You see through the window, it's snowing. Not here, Narayana. Ingella it doesn't snow, pa. You are only blessed to see it. Here it doesn't, nothing happens here. Yeah. Only sun and sun and sun and sun and sun. You see through the window, you can see the snowfall. But you can sit with your shorts and why? if you are exposed to that, the body will die. Therefore, so much of technology is improved. What? To preserve the body. So what? You can sit through the window, you can write poetry about how beautiful is the snowfall. Uh-huh. And people ask me, sir, how is summer in Chennai? I said, 10 years now. I don't know what summer is. In Chennai, literally, I forgot what summer is in Chennai. You know that? Because you get into the car, air conditioned. You go to any place, it is air conditioned. I come back and sleep, air conditioned. Where is summer? Are you able to follow? And then I go to the doctor. I'm saying I'm having this problem, I'm having that problem. AC avoid பண்ணுங்க. Huh? Avoid AC. I said, what do you mean? You want me to die or what? Huh? Avoid AC. Avoid. If you carefully look at our education, all our efforts, our education, our improvement, our advancement, everything is towards what? Body, 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 body. The watch got a body, isn't it? I'm having so many things in the watch itself, isn't it? So as soon as I wake up in the morning, I have to go into my app and check how many hours I slept. In that, how many hours I slept, that also tells me, Srikanth, deep sleep எவ்வளோ, core sleep எவ்வளோ, REM எவ்வளோ, how many minutes I was awake. அதெல்லாம் 4 நாள் பார்த்துட்டு 5th day I couldn't sleep only. I saw that for 4 days. 5th day I couldn't sleep. You know that this watch does all that? And then another measurement. Oh God, I tell you. What is your breathing levels? How many breaths you are having? I'm thinking now, what is now? I'm Chat GPT, I'm asking now. What is the ideal breath I should have while I am asleep? So, தூக்கமே போச்சு நாராயணா. All sleep is gone now. Isn't it? Everything is centered around the body so much, isn't it? And then the watch asks me, how many glasses of water you have? தாகம் வந்தாதானே I can have. Only when you are feeling thirsty, you can have. No, you should have. Then I have to buy a water bottle. And that water bottle says 7 o'clock this much, 8 o'clock this much, 11 o'clock this much, 1 o'clock, well done, refill. It means I finished that 1 liter now by 1 o'clock. So another half of the day, another refill. When this is the entire life, where will you have time for dharma and all that here? Where is the time for dharma? Where is the time for reality? Where is the time for all that? For the entire life is spent on this. And that body, they say, Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kaye. Take that body away. Take that body away. They are not saying be indifferent to the body. They are saying understand it rightly. That's why the Upanishad says, Apyayantu mamangani va pranaschakшу, etc. Therefore, overestimation is one kind of delusion. Underestimating is another kind of delusion. Both are delusion. If you give it an exaggerated value, you are deluded. You don't take care of it at all and underestimate it, again you are deluded. What is the right way? What is the right way? What is the right way to the body? What is the right way of dealing with the body? Simply follow the Panchanga calendar. Open the calendar. If it says Ekadashi, what you do? Simply fast. Ekadesi today. What you will do? Fast. Shivaratri. What you will do? Try not to sleep. So that you can sleep in the day. Daytime also you should not sleep. Because next day you have to go to work. No. Sir, if I don't sleep, if I don't get that 8 hours of sleep, if I don't get that 8 hours of sleep, what will happen, sir? What will happen? Nothing will happen. Again, birth. Punaha api is going to continue the same thing. What is the right way? Attend to it as you attend to the instrument. That's why I gave the example. What is the example? Keep it fit so that it can cut properly. That's all. The purpose of washing the instrument so that it can cut it neatly, isn't it? Similarly, keep the instruments of body, mind, and intellect properly so that it can cut through. What it can cut through? Cut through moha. Cut through moha, cut through delusion, cut through ignorance. This is the moha mudgara, verse number 6. Yavat pavano nivasati gehe, tavat pruchati kushalam gehe, ghatavati vayav deha phaye, bharya bhibhyati tasmin khaye. If you want to grow, facts are required. If you want to be in coma, consolation is required. You have a choice. Bhaja Govindam is taken the first step. Again, I repeat. If you want to grow in life, what is required? Facts of life, truths of life is required to grow. If you want to be in coma, what is required to be in coma? Consolation. And these rishis have no time for consoling and keeping us in coma. So what do? They keep revealing the truths. They keep revealing the truths. Always remember this law. If you want to grow in life, truths, have the courage to accept the truth, you will grow very fast. Wherever you are seeking consolation, it means you want to continue to remain in coma. Anybody who has some affection on you will not allow you to be in coma. They will want to wake us up. And what is a wake-up call? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karne. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karne. With this, we conclude for today. We continue with verse number 7 onwards. Next.